Yost with the most on Twitter.
Yost with the most. Now,
and
Austin,
he has Grixis control, and I believe earlier, he tweeted that he ultimated Nico Bolas. Now, how can he do that without Nico Bolas in his deck? Oh, wait, he does play Nico Bolas in his deck.
Yeah, Austin.
That's already exciting enough for me.
Austin's playing a deck that reminds me of Caleb Durward's list. I say that because it's a Lone Revenant list.
Lone Revenant, another exciting card to
I love Lone Revenant,
not see very much play, but I love the card. I love to see it here in this list. Austin can sit there all day for all I care.
On the other side of the table, you got Black-Red Zombies. A aggressive build with Brimstone Volleys amongst other cards. Brimstone Volley is an indication, generally speaking, that you are trying to end games quickly. They also have Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, one of my favorite cards for the Black-Red build.
So is it Jorel or Jorel? It looks like could be an I, could be an L.
I like Jorel because it makes me think of
Superman.
Yes, yeah,
Jorel. All right, so
depending on how young this guy is, he could be it could be actually named after that.
That's true. So double Darkslick Shores for Austin. Jorel misses his first land drop, finds his second one. It's a Cavern of Souls, naming presumably zombies.
That is a bold keep.
Yeah, no land.
I'm not mulliganing. No way.
He hits his one drop. There were a lot of mulligans, apparently, actually. That's what we're finding out. We didn't get the specific number, but there were mulligans. Austin with a Dragon Skull Summit for his third land drop. Jorel says, I'll match that with a Dragon Skull Summit of my own. And we've got a dead zombie. Toasted, roasted zombie. So, board clear. And a Drops Messenger. And Drops Messenger goes away. This Pillar of Flame, taking out both zombies. No undying happening.
Pillar of Flame, such
fantastic.
a great card.
Jorel,
5 cards versus 4 cards. Oh,
Mana
Liliana gets leaked.
Liliana could have been a major problem for Austin. So, yeah, Jorel started on 4 cards, Austin on 5, and
Blood Artist.
Lots happening here. So there's a Blood Artist.
Not too scary right now.
No, not at all.
And Austin, land drawn, comes to play tapped. I see a Nicol Bolas in his hand, waiting.
Yeah, I mean he's on 5 lands now. Won't be too long.
Three mana. That's probably Flames of the Firebrand.
I believe it is.
3 to your face.
Austin thinking about it. All right, so still trying to decide whether or not he wants that to resolve. And he decides he's going to Snapcaster Mana Leak, so does not want to see that resolve. Doesn't let it resolve. Snapcaster now on the aggressive for Austin. And these players are playing super fast. It's been 3.5 minutes, not even 3.5 minutes into the match. It's almost as if they're playing with the clock in mind, as if it says 6.5 minutes left. So.
Desperate
Ravings.
I actually don't like that card in this deck.
Yeah, he could. All right, we're gonna see what he loses at random. And it's 5, and it is.
Wormcoil?
Was it Wormcoil? It appeared to be
Wormcoil.
Wormcoil. Yeah, there's only one in the deck. There it went.
Now, I like Desperate Ravings in theory, but I've tried it in numerous control decks, and Patrick Chapin has said, "Oh, don't worry. Just don't cast it if you have cards you like in your hand." That is not acceptable in this metagame. Not casting the card draw spells currently in a Delver world, not acceptable.
Nope.
And
He's going to
again.
cast it again. And we've got a Snapcaster dead.
Which is going to take 1 life away from Austin.
Tragic
and give it
slip.
to Jorel. Yeah, it's just that the cost is actually real. There goes Nicole Bolas.
Yeah, see, now that's not cool.
Well, I mean, he doesn't need the Nicole Bolas now.
I wanted to see Nicole Bolas.
And we see a Snapcaster into Pillar of Flame getting rid of the Blood Artist. He's like, you know what? I'm tired of that stuff. No more. I think the issue is this. You actually need to plan when you're a control deck, and Desperate Ravings makes it harder to plan. And the Falcon Wrath Aristocrat. That's a good one.
Yeah, with the
Zoom.
haste.
In for 6. Block. Trade. Take 4.
All right, so Austin to 11 here. And he has a go for the throat. Oh, okay, so he does not go to 11. Or did he?
He did. He waited for the creature to die so that it could not become an indestructible vampire.
Got it, okay.
And he's thinking about Snapcaster something.
Amass the Components from Austin. 2 copies of that. Draws into a Consecrated Sphinx. Didn't quite see what else. And Evolving Wilds. Jorel has no play, says go. Evolving Wilds cracked on Austin's side of the board, finds an island. Didn't see what he put on the bottom with that Amass the Components, but these players are playing so fast. Which is fine with me. I don't have a problem.
And Nicole Bolas number 2.
Nicole Bolas.
Boom, a Jija. I'm going to tell you.
All right. Are we going to see
a very anemic
Brimstone? Is it a
Brimstone Volley?
Yeah.
There's,
takes out a
over.
Dragon Skull Summit.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's over. Yeah, Jorel agrees.
Yeah.
Now, when you do the same kind of thing with Karn, it's not actually over. You know, like, I actually have been having small little dreams about running a deck with Nicole Bolas and Karn.
Yeah, why not?
I really want both.
I see, like, I love that Austin is playing this deck. I want this deck to be playable. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see. I love decks like this. This is fantastic. Grixis. I mean,
and you know,
Nicole Bolas.
Austin takes these events seriously too. I mean, he's gotten the top 16 of a Star City Games Open Series. He's gotten top 8, and he's won one of these events.
Yeah, right back in April, he was playing Nyapod in Standard.
Yeah,
top 16 with that. Yeah, and in Legacy, he seems to have had some success with Burn, a win and a top 8. So both last year. Oh no, sorry, one was in January this year in DC.
Yeah,
and then the other was last November. So. I imagine he'll be here tomorrow, and my guess would be that he picks up Burn, but if he obviously has
I don't think he'll play Burn tomorrow.
A propensity for Burn, maybe not.
The reason I don't think he will, he played in Kansas City, Delver.
Oh, okay.
Which says to me, a blue-white Delver, that's in Standard, which says to me he's somebody that's very, very willing to play a mainstream deck. Now, this is obviously not a mainstream deck.
Not at all.
My feeling is that he probably plays decks that he thinks are situated in a metagame. And in the moment when he was playing Burn, which was the end of last year, the beginning of this year, I think that was a solid choice.
Right on, okay.
But these days in Gristlebrand land and other cards that are, other decks that are kind of situated for a Gristlebrand fight, I don't know that Burn is the way to go.
So speaking of, I guess, let's looking at the sideboards here. Austin has access to 2 Curse of Death's Hold. Imagine he brings those in. An additional Galvanic Blast. I'm sorry, just 1 Galvanic Blast. It's not actually in the main, sorry. So I imagine he'd bring that in. He's got a Dissipate, which would be nice for the Geralf's Messengers or even Gravecrawler, but that seems iffy. Not really for the Geralf messages. I'm thinking about them coming back from the graveyard.
Cards I'm seeing I like there. Sever the Bloodline will do a lot of work to remove those from the game forever. Batterskull, just to like put up a fight straight up. And
Nihil Spellbomb?
Nihil Spellbomb is just fine, though he might not want it potentially. And Galvanic Blast, just as a fast response to whatever.
Yeah.
Curse of Death's Hold, because he's dealing with a creature deck, as well as one that is running Blood Artist and Falcon Wrath Aristocrat. Now, a lot of those cards, of course, mean that he has a lot of room to play with here. I would probably end up taking out the Mana Leaks in this matchup. They too often just end up way after the fact. And I wouldn't be surprised to see one Nicol Bolas be sideboarded out. It's an expensive card.
It is. Yeah, probably keeps the Worm Coil. Just that unless he just decides to if he really needs the room, he can cut it. And since he is likely bringing in Batterskull for just a faster lifelink option, but I imagine he leaves the Worm Coil. It's too good. Looks like maybe a mulligan from Jorel. Can we put a hyphen after the R in Jorel?
Jorel.
That's what I keep thinking every time I see it.
Jorel.
I'm sure he's heard that before. If that's his, because the way he's written his name here, it's actually arguable that maybe that last letter is an I, but it's tough to tell. So if his name is actually Jorel, I'm sure he's heard that before. So. Okay, cool. It is Jorel. We've got confirmation. That's good. So he's definitely heard the Superman references before.
Yeah. One of my favorite Magic players with an interesting name is Chicago player Azrael Spear. Azrael, who has been to quite a few Pro Tours, though these days he's more of judging. Azrael, who is going to the Settlers of Catan World Championships in Germany this year.
Nice. So turn one, Digraph Ghoul from Jorel meets Pillar of Flame from Austin. Jorel has a Nihil Spellbomb of his own.
You know, I don't know about trying to fight against Snapcasters. Like, Nihil Spellbomb is one of the best ways to do it, but when you're an aggressive deck...
Yeah, it seems like a waste of
time.
A card,
yeah, it's just...
Gravecrawler from Jorel.
I could be wrong. It's just my general feeling.
Pillar of Flame number 2.
Take that.
If I'm Jorel, I crack the Spellbomb now. That's 2 Pillar of Flames. You don't want him to... I mean, Pillar of Flame is really good against Jorel's deck, so being able to Snapcast your Pillar, you just get rid of the 2 Pillars now. Force him to have
Ravings.
The others, so a Sign in Blood from Jorel, Desperate Ravings from Austin. Both players playing their draw 2 spells.
It's the smallest number I've seen Jorel roll. And I can't tell what was discarded there.
Was it a Lone Revenant? Was it a... No mulligans this game. Was it a...
It looks like
a Lighthouse. Desolate Lighthouse,
okay.
I think.
There we go. Lighthouse to the yard. Evolving Wilds in play. 4th mana for both players. Geralf's Messenger, uncounterable from Jorel.
And a Gravecrawler from Jorel.
Yeah, remember now, the Nihil Spellbomb has been used, so those pillars that were in the yard are gone. And I think I saw a Mana Leak there off of the Desperate Ravings, a card that I would not want to have in after board.
He only plays 3 main. Maybe he just kept 1 in. You know, who knows? What did he discard? We missed it. It may have been Mana Leak. Oh, it was Snapcaster. Okay. Cracks an Evolving Wilds, presumably. Gets a Swamp. Austin Yost up a game here against Jorel Akers. Grixis Control versus Black-Red Zombies. Here in Denver, Colorado at the StarCityGames.com Open Series. I'm Joey Pasco in the booth with Adrian Sullivan. We're in round 3 of 9. And here's an Amass the Components from Austin. Draw 3, put 1 on the bottom. What's he putting on the bottom? Potentially Mana Leak, potentially something else, didn't quite see. No, he kept a Mana Leak in hand. There is a Mana Leak in his hand, for sure. Passes back. So Austin going to take some beats here, I imagine.
Yeah, I just don't like the mana leaks in these style of matchups because you end up being perhaps behind on the table, and if you top deck the mana leak, it's just terrible, and you might not actually get the opportunity, both on Cavern and on just them drawing mana for a late game, to be able to cast mana leak to any effect later on.
I agree.
In for 5. Another spell bomb. It looks like a fistful of burn.
And there's a spell bomb. And there's a zombie. Diagraph Ghoul comes into play tapped. Adds to the force. Austin plays a land, and he is almost to Cruel Ultimatum mana.
It's a shame that that's not legal.
Yeah. The closest thing we've got is Nico Bolas himself.
Now, the first time I saw Nicole Bolas do well at a event was at a Star City Games event before it was the Open Series.
Yeah? Was it the 5K at the time?
It was a 5K. I want to say that it was in Indianapolis, Indiana, and that player did win the event in a 5-color mirror match with Nicole Bolas coming down after his opponent Cruel Ultimated him. It was, Cruel Ultimatum you, okay, I'll keep this one card. Nicole Bolas, game.
Is that another Amass the Components? Draws into a Consecrated Sphinx, a Slagstorm, a land, and a Snapcaster.
It is indeed. A lot of people have made fun of Nicole Bolas as being maybe a little bit too archaic. I do not believe that that is true. I just think that it's a little bit rough right now for it because of Delver decks. Slagstorm.
There's a Slagstorm. Oh, it was Forbidden Alchemy that he cast. It wasn't Amass the Components. Okay, sorry about that. It was a F&M promo Forbidden Alchemy. I assumed it was Amass the Components for some reason. I only got a quick look.
I was wondering where the extra land was. Gravecrawler comes back from the dead.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't have made sense if he amassed the Components for 4.
And a Brimstone Volley. While you're tapped out, take 3 more.
Yow.
There's a Wormcoil Engine, but is it in time? If Jorel has any answers. I think I see a, I don't know if I see a land.
Well, Wormcoil only costs 6, right?
Well, I'm thinking about in his hand, I think I see a Bonfire of the Damned.
Oh, okay.
Which he is 1 mana short of casting. Yeah, there is a Bonfire there. Oh, wait, is that a mountain? That's a mountain.
He does have a land.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Does he have a... I'm looking for Bonfire in the...
Maybe I'm missing
in the listed. I don't see Bonfire in the list.
Okay, so it's not Bonfire. Devil's Play, perhaps, is what that is?
Could be Devil's Play. He does play that. He has a 1 of in the main. Plays a land.
Devil's Play for 3 here. Yep, Devil's Play for 3. Kills the messenger. And now he's down to 2 life if this Gravecrawler hits. And the burn spell in Jorel's hand will maybe make that mana leak good for Austin. In for 2.
Ouch. Austin Yost at 2 life here.
Die.
And a Brimstone Volley gets mana leaked. I knew it was right to keep that in.
I still don't like it.
I'm just kidding. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Wormcoil Engine.
And I think Jorel's going to kill him, though.
Yeah. Empty the graveyards. Jorel's for the turn.
A lot of cards Jorel can do to kill him there. 1,
2, 3. Jorel's Messenger will kill him. Yeah, so... I wonder, do you think the Wormcoil Engine might have been better to play last turn? He was at 4.
Maybe.
He would have put the break, like, Jorel... I mean, I don't know what Jorel had in his hand. Right, but if Austin was at 4, Jorel now can't really attack. He's got a Messenger still, but he can't attack.
It could well be.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dropping Wormcoil always feels great.
Yeah, I wish it had haste.
You wish it had haste?
It should have haste.
That seems unnecessary.
I'm sorry. It does have haste, but it's called Thragtusk. in that version of Wormcoil Engine. I mean, pretty much, right? Isn't Thragtusk just like Wormcoil? Like, you just gain the 5 in the first place, and you get, when it leaves a token. It's like, you know, it's very Wormcoil-esque. Costs a little less. Only leaves half as many tokens, but still gets the lifelink right out of the way.
You know, they both are kind of like, in a big way, bombs. It's really hard to try to compare them to each other. But, that being said, Worm Coil just can sometimes, to me, seem like, other than Vapor Snagging, it's such a more difficult card to deal with. Austin here on the left, playing Grixis Control. When I say it's vaguely reminiscent of Caleb Durward's Grixis Control, I'm talking about the Lone Revenant and then the package of removal. I have no idea if he looked at Caleb's list or not. He clearly isn't copying Caleb's list because he does have Nicol Bolas's in this, and I believe that Caleb was not running Nicol Bolas.
Yeah, where can you find Caleb's list?
That would have been in the Star City Games Denver coverage, so...
We're in Denver now.
Or not Denver, Detroit. That's the second time I've done that this weekend. I was talking to someone about how I was in Detroit, and they were like, oh, why aren't you in Denver? Oh, I mean Denver.
They're similar, kind of. I mean, the hashtags are only one letter off, right? SCGDET or SCGDEN, so...
Well, I do know that I would rather be, when it comes to food things, in Detroit, because in Detroit, they've got coney dogs, and I love them. Yeah, actually, Caleb's list had 2 Karn Liberateds in it. And I am going to tweet...
He goes ahead... Oh, you're going to tweet the
I'm going to tweet the link to the deck list. For those of you who are out there, so you can all see it.
So is that the only chain? I'm looking... Okay, so I can see Think Twice over Desperate Ravings in Caleb's list. 4 mana leaks rather than 3. Both players mulliganing to 6 here.
The land is different.
Well, yeah.
Caleb was a Temporal Mastery list.
Is it? Yeah. I'm just taking a look. You're going to tweet it, so
yeah,
I'll look at it.
I'm going to tweet this to everybody out there.
So for those of you guys interested in the list that Caleb ran, that was very similar to Austin's list, go ahead and look at the SCGLive Twitter account. Adrian is in the process of tweeting that for you guys. So for those of you just joining us, I'm Joey Pasco in the booth with Adrian Sullivan, and we're watching round 3 of 9 of Standard. Whoa, had a little bit of an earthquake there. Here in Denver, Colorado. Both players on 6 cards. And Jorel has a turn 1 Diregraph Ghoul, and Austin with an Evolving Wilds, cracking for an island at the end of Jorel's turn. And there's a removal spell for the zombie, a Pillar of Flame. He is very liberal with those Pillar of Flames. I would almost want to save them for the for like the Jorel's Messengers or the Grave Crawlers. See, there's a Jorel's Messenger. Hopefully he has Snapcaster Pillar. And there's the Forbidden Alchemy FNM version. End of turn for Austin. And he finds Sever the Bloodline, leaves it in the yard. Didn't quite see what he grabbed. Oh, okay, it looks like maybe another Pillar. Oh, he's got Snapcaster Pillar either way. So Snapcaster Pillar takes care of Jorel's Messenger and clears the board with the exception of a Snapcaster for Austin Yost. Jorel's Messenger number 2 for Jorel. And a Batterskull off the top, I believe, for Austin. Snapcaster gets in.
Oh, look at that, racing you.
And here comes Batterskull, I believe. Yeah, there it is, Batterskull, Austin Yost, Germ Token.
This just shows how conservative I am. I'm like, I probably wouldn't have even attacked with the Snapcaster, just in case something goes wrong.
Right. He may be able to do 16 in a turn after dealing with my Batterskull.
Sign in Blood.
Sign in Blood for Jorel.
Yeah, that's one of my weaknesses sometimes, is I get over-controlling.
Yeah. I think I'm that way too somewhat. So
Metamorph, is that going to be on a Batterskull?
I imagine it would be.
Ooh, Doctor!
Spicy. All right, so Austin gonna go ahead and trade germs here. Batterskull into Jorel's Batterskull puts both players back up to 20.
And Sphinx. Oh, if that does not get killed immediately. Oh, Doctor, there's a draw. There's a trigger.
Sphinx draws
I'm
2
tell
cards
you,
for Austin.
maybe I'm being premature here, but I bet you the game just ended.
Yeah.
Now, there are always the details of how it ended, but I bet you that the game just ended.
Geralf's Messenger in for Jorel.
Block with Snapcaster? Maybe?
I don't know. Austin appears to have taken it. I think.
I guess that stops the Tragic Slip from killing the Consecrated Sphinx.
Now, that Metamorph is a Batterskull, can return to Jorel's hand and then be replayed as a Consecrated Sphinx of his own.
This is true. That, in fact, might be the out.
Not what he's going for. So, for Falkenrath Aristocrat for Jorel. And passes back to Austin.
Okay, that means he does not have a Tragic Slip, because I would sacrifice that Messenger for 2 life and then Tragic Slip the Sphinx in an instant. Oh, devastation. Curse of Death's holds. Ouch.
So Curse of Death's hold for Austin takes out the Aristocrat, shrinks the Messenger.
In with the Sphinx.
Sphinx gets in for 4, yeah.
Puts the Batterskull onto the Jorel's Messenger. Nile Spellbomb into play. I don't know that that's so good against the Sphinx.
I draw 1, you draw 2? Austin says sure.
Jorel comes on in.
Alright, so we've got a 6-power Messenger.
Boom.
Gets blocked by Snapcaster.
3 plus 4 minus 1 is 6. Sphinx draw. Whip Flare. That was untap the Sphinx draw.
Yeah.
Not the triggered draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Severing the bloodline of Geralt.
Flash back.
And
he's like, I'm gonna draw. I'll draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Nile Spellbomb gets popped. Jorel draws a card. Austin draws 2. In with the Sphinx. Pass back, I believe. Maybe he didn't pass back.
And Austin, a mitt full of hands.
That's an interesting way to, interesting phrase.
Mitt full of cards, my bad there.
A mitt full of hands. I mean, yeah, he does probably have multiple hands worth of cards.
I mean, yeah, he's got 23 cards there, maybe 24.
3 or 4 hands.
Metamorph on your Sphinx. Yes?
Resolves, apparently.
Now it gets exciting.
Yeah. That is if Austin doesn't have a removal spell. There is an Evolving Wilds, evolving into a swamp, I believe. A little bit of a glare.
Okay. Oh, draw. It's being all slow here. Oh wow, they're going into a draw war. I'm done.
Yeah, so we're watching both players draw their decks.
Okay, now it's a mitt full of hands.
Yeah, now it's actually Austin has 32 cards in hand. I just counted.
I actually, it's funny. I am a lot more. I guess. How do I want to put this? OCD about dueling Sphinxes and the stack.
Yeah, it's really like it's actually the worst. Like I just feel like they should be legendary or something, just to avoid that interaction. But I guess it does provide a very interesting.
Oh, I think it's super interesting. But I mean, when I do it, I'm like, Okay. You've got 2 on the... You know,
right. You're
I actually set up the
paper?
entire stack and make sure that it happens. I use sleeves, actually, for empty sleeves, either on...
To represent the stack.
represent the stack.
Yeah.
I actually think it's really important because people don't know how to do it properly, and you can get major advantage if you know how to do the dueling Sphinx properly. And what do we got? Pillar of Flames.
Austin would like an answer to that Sphinx, but then I guess so would Jorel like an answer to that Sphinx.
What's he going to do with this Pillar of Flames?
So if Austin does well in this tournament, his deck list will be published, for Jonathan May asking on Twitter. And for those of you also wondering, we publish the deck lists that do pretty well at the end of the day, right around the time of the top 8. So you guys can look forward to that later. Not saying Austin's list will be featured there for sure, but you know, my fingers are crossed. I would like to see Austin do well. I think this is exciting.
Oh, he's got something to think about here, but I mean, he's been thinking about it for a while.
Yeah.
What's the play, Austin? What's the play? Gonna put some cards on layaway?
Well, Nile Spellbomb.
Spellbomb. I think we're gonna see another curse.
Curse of Death's Hold. That is
double curse, and then he can go Whip Flare. Wait, that won't hurt the Metamorph. Metamorph is an artifact.
Does it remain an artifact after?
Yeah, it remains an artifact.
So, if Austin deals with that Sphinx, how does Jorel even compete with double curse?
Well, I mean, another question is, Jorel stopped very early with his card draw. I think he has an answer to Austin's Sphinx.
I can see that, yeah. I was actually surprised at how early he stopped.
He's allowed to discard. Okay.
So Austin appears to have passed the turn, discarded about 40 cards.
Draw 2. Do you want to draw back? Jorel says, yeah, I'll draw 4. See, this is all too fast. That's not how it goes. That's not what happens. It's not draw
like
1, draw 2, draw 4.
How many do you want to draw?
Yeah, it's actually in batches of 2 at a time for every card that you draw.
Well,
Cavern of Souls.
Jorel drew a bunch of cards. Austin drew a bunch of cards. Jorel plays Cavern of Souls. There is a Mana Leak, a Nico Bolas in Austin's hand. I mean, name a card, it's probably in Austin's hand.
Yeah. How much happier would he be with a negate over that Mana Leak right now?
He may have a negate. He does play 1 on the board. There's a Liliana. Mana Leak.
It looks like it's resolving.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to Edict you. Boom. Okay, that prediction I had earlier about Consecrated Sphinx going the whole way, well, I was slightly right.
Yeah, it was just on the wrong side right at the moment. So there's a Falkenrath Aristocrat.
And it dies immediately. Double curse. Jorel, like, oh yeah, I forgot about the curse.
Did Jorel forget about the curse?
Well, that's why the Aristocrat's in the yard. And attack for 4 or for 2, go. And he draws 2 cards from the draw from Austin. I think we have to wait for Jorel to discard though before we can end the turn.
Yeah, he's got at least 8 in hand.
Is that a Mana Barbs? Oh, wow.
Is it? Does he have? Oh, he does have 1 Mana Barbs. That could be brutal. So, Jorel, with what looks to be the advantage right now, being able to copy Austin's Consecrated Sphinx has put him in a great position. However, so there's the discard. However, 2 Curse of Death's Hold on Austin's side of the board.
Now, Austin can lay a Nicole Bolas and steal the Consecrated Sphinx.
That's true. And Jorel will be thinking, why did I not play Mana Barbs last turn?
There we go, Nicole Bolas.
Does he just destroys Liliana.
Oh, that seems like less good.
Unless he has another answer, but it doesn't seem like he does.
I mean, all it takes is a burn spell now for Nicol Bolas to get killed.
No, Bolas is on 8 counters. What burn spell are you
No.
talking
He
about?
equips the Batterskull to the artifact Consecrated Sphinx.
Right, which is a 2 power, right?
Right, now it's 6 power.
Okay.
And now any
so
burn
now it
spell
keeps
will
burning.
kill
Okay,
Nicol Bolas.
I get you. Wasn't factoring in creature power there.
Now, the removal that Austin has becomes important here.
And
then we're going to see a burn spell. Zot. Goodbye, Nicol. I think I would have liked to have seen what is your
Sphinx?
answer to your own Nicol Bolas here, or to your own Sphinx here.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he didn't do that. I mean, because then a stolen Sphinx can draw plenty of cards for you to discard to Liliana, or what Liliana already edicted once, so it couldn't edict immediately, and giving Austin an opening to attack Liliana then. You know, like on the next turn after he got the turn back. Jorel would have plus Liliana, and she would have been on 2 counters, and then. Interesting. So Austin needs a Shatter Storm here.
That would be sweet.
Yeah. Austin with plenty of mana. No clear answer, or else he wouldn't be taking so long.
Yeah, that Nicol Bolas was a coup when it was dropped, and it's just been given away.
Yeah, that was. I would like to know what he was thinking about. There's a Forbidden Alchemy. Draws another Nicol Bolas.
Looks like a.
He keeps Bolas. He's gonna drop Bolas again.
Was that a Bolas?
It was a Bolas. Look, and now he's gonna steal that Sphinx.
Steal it.
Steal the Sphinx. I mean, there's no Liliana to get in the way.
There you go. Wait.
Is he destroying it or stealing it? No, I guess
he's destroying the Batterskull.
Was it the Batterskull or the Sphinx?
Well, you can't destroy a Sphinx.
Oh, I'm sorry, creature. You're right. You're right. Huh. I guess he could take the Sphinx next turn.
If nothing goes wrong.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like.
Interesting. I don't know. I guess maybe we are. Maybe he has a better line than we do. I don't like the first time.
I don't like it.
This time, I'm a little less.
I still don't like it.
I guess the other thing is, well, no. See, that's fine too, though. I was thinking, like, if you steal the Sphinx, then Batterskull can return to Jorel's hand. He can recast it as Sphinx again. You know what I mean? Like.
4 mana barbs. Ouch.
Well, that's just going to get destroyed, right? He's just going to say, okay, untap, destroy mana barbs.
Attack,
right?
Take 2.
So Nicol Bolas down to 6.
Draw 2. There you go.
Destroy mana barbs, right. I mean, that's just...
it is so hard to beat Nicol Bolas once it's in play.
Jorel did it once. He didn't beat the, not the whole game yet, but...
Whip Flare does nothing to anything. Snapcaster, okay. Whip Flare does nothing. No, don't put that in the yard.
I'm unsure about. Is it not still an artifact? That's what I'm unclear about. So we're gonna pause it real quick. We're gonna contact the judge real fast to make sure that actually works.
It does not work.
Adrian seems very sure about it. So
yeah. Make sure the game stops.
I mean, now it may be too far to back up, especially with the speed. It's an artifact in addition to its other types. You're right. Yeah.
Yes.
So Whip Flare should not have killed the Metamorph. Nor should have other Whip Flare done damage to the Metamorph. So Curse of Death's Hold makes the Sphinx into a 2/4, and then Whip Flare, Snapcaster Whip Flare does nothing to it.
There we go. Hallelujah.
That seems so awful. Like, it seems awful to me that, I mean, I guess both players made a mistake there, right? But the one who gets punished is Austin, because it's not as if he went Whip Flare and they went, oh, that doesn't affect it. So
there's no reason for him to say it, though. Let's pretend that, like, it was me and I was sitting there. I'd be like, okay, Whip Flare.
No, I'm fine with that. But I'm just saying, like, the situation is, both players made the mistake. He put it in the graveyard. Austin loses 3 spells out of it, So,
I mean, you still have to try to make reality happen.
yeah. I guess it's not a fair way to do it, but I feel like it was a mistake on the part of both players, but Austin doesn't get his cards back, Head judge has to clear the rewind, so that's what we're doing now. I understand that's just the way it works. It's just one of those feel-bad things about Magic sometimes.
You know what? I like reality. I play Magic, but I like reality.
Yeah, I guess in reality, though, he wouldn't have cast the Whip Flare.
No, he did, though.
I know.
See, that's just it. Is he makes the mistake, right? Then he casts Snapcaster and casts Whip Flare again, making the mistake to finish the devastation of the mistake. They both agree that the card should go in the yard. Right there, the rules themselves are being violated. The one is a play choice.
Yeah.
That's a mistake. The other one is the reality failing to work.
So there's a Bonfire from Jorel, and that gets mana leaked. So here's what it's funny, you're right. I think I would have been totally fine if he would have went Whip Flare, Snapcaster, Whip Flare, and Jorel went, okay, it doesn't do anything, and it's he walked right into it. I'm worse that when both players felt it's weird. Something about the fact that it was a mistake on both players' part. It bothers me. But no, I
understand
get it.
why it bothers you, but
this is clearly right.
Yes.
It just bothers me.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes. Many things bother me that are the way that they are.
Yeah, it's just the way they are. Yeah, it's all good. It's just one of those things.
I mean, ultimately, I'm wondering at what point we're going to see Nicol Bolas take the Metamorph.
Yeah, he still hasn't. But then again, not that much has happened here.
I'm just wondering how far you have to go before he's like, I'll take it.
Yeah, I guess I'll take your guy that's drawing you 2 cards every turn. Yeah, go for the throat does nothing. We see that in Austin's hand.
I mean, I almost wonder if Austin just is that has an ultimate. It has a plus ability.
I mean, he's mostly plussing, right?
He has not done anything but plus.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so... It's only a -9, so he's got 9 counters on it now. Not that... dealing 7 damage, and then...
he ultimates!
He does, okay.
Whoa!
Discard 7 cards, sacrifice 7 permanents. I mean, does he just sack 7 lands?
Apparently.
Jeez.
And Austin has a Devil's Play in hand. Or in the yard, I should say. There's a Devil's Play. He's going for the kill.
Yeah, it looks like it.
He's like, well, buddy.
He's looking to see, all right, so Jorel had 9 cards in hand because he had a full hand and then drew 2 off the Sphinx. And there it is.
There
Austin
You're dead.
Burns him out after both players drew about 30 cards off Consecrated Sphinxes. Wow. That was fun. That was a fun match to watch.
Right.
Can we just tell Austin just not get up? He could just stay there in the feature match area for another round because I just want to watch some more Grixis Control. Just stay there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny though because I'll say the same thing to who was it on the mono blacklist? Matthew Pitzer, I think was his name.